I just realized my mic was muted, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so what I was saying was welcome to my penny stock show right here on Benzinga. The penny stock market has been a little bit overshadowed by the craziness with Dogecoin and some of those cryptocurrencies last week. But we still got some stuff we're going to go over today. I know Dogecoin right now is ripping up. But again, we still have some penny stocks that we're going to specifically look at today. While we let everyone go ahead and get joined up in here, go ahead and make some call outs for any stocks you want to see me go over. We can start looking at a few stocks while we let everyone get joined in here. And yeah, I hope you guys are ready for the show. I'm excited for the show. I love doing this Benzinga penny stock show. It's a nice break from my channel being over here on Benzinga. And yeah, call out some stocks that you want to see us look at today, guys. It should be fun. Again, Dogecoin going crazy this weekend, going crazy last week, was a lot of fun. And I'm curious to see how the market's going to react. I know Bitcoin also dropped pretty substantially this weekend. And, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of negative sympathy from that in a lot of crypto stocks, whether it's the Coinbase stock, COIN, from last week, whether it's SOS. I think we're going to get some negative sympathy. I think Bitcoin dropped like 15%. And yeah, I'm interested to see how the market reacts to that. You can also let us know what you think is going to happen tomorrow at the open with some of those crypto stocks as well. Give me 1 second, guys, and I'm gonna post this to my Discord, and we can get rolling here. There we go. All right, guys. Hey, what's up, G? I'm just gonna call you G. I don't wanna mispronounce your name, brother. But hey, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well, brother. Good to see you. Who here has traded Doge, man? I'm still holding Doge. I sold a little bit of Doge Friday night. I sold a little bit of Doge. I sold it at like 33 cents, right? And we're right back there, so we're right around where I sold it. But Doge is currently sitting at around 32 cents. So, you know, at first I was glad I did because Doge eventually dropped down to like 20 something cents. But my entry was 12.8 cents. And so I had a great entry. I entered it just under 13 cents. And so I'm well deep into the profits with Doge. And it's been a fun time trading that thing. I don't know anything. I'm not going to say I don't know anything, but I'm not super well versed in most cryptocurrencies. And it's something that I'm just kind of learning as I go along here. But it's been a fun time trading them. Hey, yes, sir, Daniel. What's up, brother? Want to get back in? Yeah, I mean, I'm still holding about half of my position. So I sold about 50 cents of the remaining position I had. You know, I'm a big proponent of taking profit and protecting yourself. And then if you want to get back into it, you can add those shares back, or those coins back, I should say. I'm a big proponent of that. That's my favorite thing to really do, is just to scale out, protect myself. Like, I get one of the most common questions I get asked all the time is, hey man, I'm in this stock. What do I do? You know, I'm up. Do you think I should sell? And I don't ever know. I always say, look, I don't know what you should do. What I usually do though, is that if I'm deep into the profit, I take some profit off and then I let a little bit ride, and I can be way more patient with that 25% of my original position because I'm deep into the profit. It's not going to be a losing trade regardless at that point, and I can just let the rest ride. And that's kind of what I did here with Doge. I'm holding about 50% of my remaining position. But even before that, like Friday, I had a big stream where we traded Doge, and you know, I announced that I sold a little bit of Doge during that stream as well. And, you know, everybody was yelling at me, but it's okay. I think considering what we saw this weekend, it was the right move. And I'm hoping it goes up. Listen, I'm wanting to see it hit 50 cents, but, you know, we'll see. And again, we're going to keep this show mostly about stocks, and we're going to talk about Doge a little bit later. Craziness, though, guys. Just absolute craziness with it. What's up, DJ? He says, I'm trading Doge all day. Hey, good luck, brother. Good luck, man. Do well, bro. Do well. Yeah, I'm not really scalping Doge per se. It depends on what you define as scalping. I am mostly holding it. And with the remaining position that I have, I'm planning to just hold that as long as I need to hold it. I'm okay with losing whatever is left, and I'm just going to let that ride. You know, I'm going to let that ride. It would preferably hit $1 before I sell that at least. And so I'm going to let the rest go. You know, I think one of the big things, if you're going to trade it like that, though, and I'm not saying you should, I don't know which way Doge is going to go, but you got to accept the risk you're taking in those trades. And that's something I've done with the remaining position. I've scaled out enough to protect myself in the trade. And now I'm going to let the rest, ride. And maybe I'll regret it. You know, if Doge rips up and goes absolutely crazy, maybe I'll regret selling that half of the position. But again, you know, it's never a bad thing to take profits, in my opinion. But we'll see. I'm not super experienced trading crypto again, though, and time will tell. WKHS looks like it's confirming support. What do you think? Yeah, we could take a look at it real quick. Yeah, WKHS, I mean, this is one that I might actually go over. I might actually add this to the list. I like the way it looks. To be honest, because of all the craziness in Doge and crypto, I had a hard time finding penny stocks that I really liked. And I know this one's like 1320s, but I might add this one to my list regardless, just because, hold on, there we go. Just because we're running low on stocks under $15 that look good to me. So we want to add WKHS. I know it's an EV play. I've been watching this one. Like Mitch and I have been watching WKHS for years. I know Mitch had some great call outs on WKHS. He was the one that really specialized in it. And, you know, this thing ripped up beautifully over the last year. But yeah, we've been watching this one for a long time. And we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, we'll go over that one today. We'll go over that one a little bit later. I went ahead and added that one to our show today. Let's see. Got another account. I'm diamond handing it. Bought to be on Weeble. Yeah, every time a whale unloads, I buy. Yeah, and you know, we'll go over my logic for Dogecoin a little bit later. That's basically like, okay, so April 14th, I announced on stream that I was buying Doge, and I was buying it at like 12.5 cents, like 12.5 cents roughly. And I got a lot of hate for it, a lot of hate. And this was 2 days before the big crazy move, but I got a lot of hate for it. And, you know, we all saw what happened. And so I felt like a genius, even though I got really, really lucky. But yeah, I'm super happy I made that purchase of shares or of coins, I should say. But yeah, WKHS, I think we're going to have some support right here. The big support I'm seeing at least is right around 1250. I don't know if we're going to hold that level. I think that's a big level for it to hold over for WKHS. And more importantly, though, I like the way this one moved on Friday. It held the VWAP really, really nicely. And we'll talk about this a little bit later for our trade of the week, because we got one similar to this that we were going over in our trade of the week. But yeah, WKHS holding the VWAP really, really nicely there and just maintaining a nice trend most of Friday. You know, I'm looking at the previous closing price. Let me see if I can add that to my study really quick. Here's the previous close. See, that's wrong. The previous close right now is right 1323. So it's right here. So that's the previous closing price. I don't know why that one's telling me differently, but the previous closing price is right there at 1323. And so I do want to see it hold over that. That's one of the main levels I'm looking at short term for WKHS. I think we also have a lot of confirmation here at this 1250 level, right around here at 1250. And so I think a lot of people are watching that. You can see it was a low down here on Friday. Let's move this up a little bit just to make it accurate. There we go. All right, so that's better. So yeah, you can see it was support here, support here. Looking over here, it was resistance here, resistance here. So yeah, it's got a lot of confirmation at that 1250 level. It also ranged right around there for a while, and so that is something that I'm specifically interested in as well to see if it holds that. We'll see. But anyways, guys, now that we got a few people in here, I don't know how long today's show is going to be. Again, I had a hard time finding penny stocks for the show today. I think Doge kind of overshadowed a lot of it. I think with Doge being as cheap as it is, and with the volatility and potential that it's had, I just think that a lot of people are in turn trading that instead of some of these penny stocks. And so with that, I think a lot of people are just watching Doge. Catching back up on the chat here, I see some SWI from Sydney. We can take a look at SWI, and then we'll go ahead and look at our the stocks that we have on our list today. SWI, it's a trending stock. It's not really my wheelhouse with regards to like my preferences in trading. I'm mostly a scalping day trader, but I'll sometimes take swing trades, and it just depends on what the story is behind a lot of this stuff. But this one looks like a trending stock, and if you look at it, there's not a ton of volume or volatility on an everyday basis for this one. It's just kind of trending in a specific direction. And this one's trending up. It's trending up on at least the short-term basis, and yeah, on the long-term basis, you can see it's trending up nicely. I don't mind the trend. The trend looks solid, but again, I don't know if it's actually going to hold these levels, obviously, and I don't know which way this was going to go. I'm not an investment professional. Don't sue me. But yeah, I think the trend looks good, but it's not something I would generally trade. I hope that makes sense. I've held Tesla since 2013. People tell me I'm crazy. Do your due diligence. What's up, Daniel? Hey, yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir, man. GOEV PR. Hey, so we're gonna go. I'll check this one out real quick, Stephen. Or GOEV. Yeah, downtrending on the daily chart, obvious downtrend. 805 is the low, the 52-week low. And so I think that's a significant level to watch, is this 805 level. You can see here, it's the low of the last year, basically. Looking at the short-term chart, sideways Friday, down the day before. And so, we're looking at it, not that much volatility though. And so I'm not going to day trade it, and the trend looks like it's going down, to me. But anyways, guys, with that said, as always, let's go ahead and take a look at our top stock movers coming soon. All right, guys. So with that, the first one on our list today, the first stock that we're actually going over is ANPC here. Now, ANPC has got a few good things that I like about it. And there's certainly reason enough for me to watch this thing into the opening bell tomorrow. Now, ANPC, the first thing I want to bring your attention to with ANPC is the float is tiny. The float is tiny. It's 1.69 million in the float. That is incredibly small, incredibly small. And, these are the type of stocks with a float that small that can really make some pretty crazy parabolic moves. I don't know if this one's going to. You never know 100% what's going to happen. This one might just fail at the opening bell tomorrow. For all I know, it might fail in pre-market. But when it has a small enough float like that, when the float is that small, there's obviously some potential to be interested in with this one. So again, this is Ampc Bio. It's a biotech company. And the reason this one is up is because in after hours yesterday, the company said that it experienced strong demand for its paid test based on cancer differentiation analysis technology in the first quarter, which, quote, set a record high first quarter test volume. And so record high first quarter test volume for their product. For ANPC, the company also said it offers multiple test products, including various cancer screening tests, immunology tests, and annual physical checkups. Paid CDA-based tests had the highest test volume among all tests in Q1 2021. And so, yeah, good catalyst. They came out and said basically they're setting record highs for first quarter test volume. It's gapping up, and it has some volume in pre-market, specifically in after hours, and not in pre-market, specifically in after hours. Friday, we did have some movement and run-ups from that. And so far we have a small float, we got decent volume, and we do have a catalyst here for ANPC. Now, all of that stuff makes me interested in it. Like I've said a million times in my other shows, though, these are not stock recommendations. These are not recommendations to buy. I don't know what these stocks are going to do. This is just my watch list to see if they do run. I'm going to be watching these tomorrow at the open and react to them if they do run. Again, I'm not saying these will run. I'm saying I'm watching these stocks. I didn't say I was buying them. So we're watching these. Hopefully they'll make some moves. Now, again, if we're looking at support resistance here for ANPC, I'm obviously looking at 725 right around here. I think it's $0.25. It's the pre-market high, basically. And, I think if it breaks that and gets some momentum and volume, then this thing can really run. I'm also looking at this confirmed low here at 640. I think 640 looks interesting. And I might watch this little range here if it can hold over that. If not, we also have some lows down here that we can pay attention to at like 611. It's kind of slowed down some since the big run in after hours. It slowed down towards the end, but that doesn't mean it's done yet. It's holding most of its gains, which is always a pretty good sign. And yeah, we're certainly watching this one for tomorrow morning at the opening bell. Let me know what you think about it in the chat. The next one we're looking at, guys, and again, we might, I don't know how long this show is going to be. I know we're going to take a look at Doge in a few minutes, so just bear with me if that's what you're here for. But we got CLOV as the next stock on our list today. Now, I did trade this one, and we're going to go over this one a little bit later in the trade of the week. But this one looks interesting. I mean, this one has good volume. And it was also reported on by Benzinga last week. Now, the reason everybody's interested in CLOV and the reason a lot of people are talking about this one is because I believe it has a crazy high short float. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not showing the short float here. I show 56.4% short growth. Let me see what else we can see with it. Hold on one second, guys. Let me look into some stuff here. There we go. Let's see if we show a short float. No, I'm not showing one there. But yeah, basically what I'm showing here is that S3 Partners, which is an analytics firm that specializes in reporting market data, said in a report this week that Clover Health has a short float percentage of 144%, 145% if you round up. It's really 144.73%, which caught the attention of a lot of traders. Benzinga reported on this one as well. And yeah, we had a Twitter post that said CLOV this level, 144% of short interest, and this perfect fuel for a massive short squeeze like GameStop. 144% is insane. Keep in mind, recently the stock got a $15 price target from Bank of America as well. And so, yeah, we're watching this. And great movement on Friday. Great movement, maintained a really obvious trend. Looked really, really solid, held the trend most of the day, even though it didn't hold the trend the entire day. It still held it most of the day, and it still didn't give back much of its gains. You can see it's currently sitting from after hours at $9, roughly $9 at $9.02 right now. And so that's going to be a level that we pay attention to. We're looking at $9. I mean, $9 is right under us. It's a whole dollar level, and we have some confirmation there previously. We're also looking above us. We got a little bit of resistance here at 920. I want to see us get over that. Of course, the high from Friday, we're looking at that. And then we have this low down here as well. So we got a few levels that I'm going to be watching for this. But so far, looks like a really nice trending stock. Looks to be trending really well. And yeah, it's certainly something that I'm going to be paying attention to with all of that news. I know we had something else come out for this one. Let me see. I saw that I think Hindenburg might have posted on this one or said something about this one as well. Let me look into this really quick. I think it was Hindenburg. Let me check it out. No, maybe it wasn't Hindenburg. So yeah, okay. So Hindenburg research tweet, the premise of the squeeze in CLOV today appears to be a data error. I don't know. I'm not showing the short float, but Hindenburg did tweet that, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Let me see if I can look up the float for CLOV on my end. I'm not showing it anywhere else. It's got 107 million float. But yeah, regardless of any of this, trending really well, good volume, nice movement, and yeah, making some moves here. Big short float. A lot of traders are talking about this being the next GameStop. Of course, I don't know if it's going to be, but I think this is a stock that a lot of people are paying attention to tomorrow in pre-market and specifically the opening bell. I think a lot of traders are interested in what this one might potentially do tomorrow. Regardless of if there was a data error or not, I think a lot of traders are paying attention to it. In the past, it's been incredibly volatile. It's under $10. It's more affordable. Great volume on Friday. I did trade this one on Friday. And again, because of all that, we're certainly watching this one at the opening bell. Let me know what you think about this one in the chat. All right, CM Hyder says that CLOV short float is 35.79%. Now, that is certainly not the 145% that we saw with GameStop, but that's still a pretty big short float percentage. And when that many shorts are involved, of course, it's not going to be the same type of parabolic squeeze that we're all looking for. But with almost 40% of the float short, there's some short traders that can get squeezed out of CLOV. And we're watching that. Not saying that's going to happen, saying it's potentially there to happen. And again, because of that, we're going to be watching this one at the opening bell. We'll see what happens with it. Again, let me know what you think about it. That's right. Hey, people, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button real quick. Do it now. Just try it. Hit the like button. Anyways, moving on from CLOV, we have EBON. Now, I've looked at this one the last few weeks. What I'm really curious about EBON here is if it's affected by crypto's downfall. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure this one's a crypto-related stock. Okay, let me. Okay, so yeah, so eBang. I'm going to go ahead and read this, and this is quoting from an article that has been circulating around EBON. It says that eBang International, which is EBON, has transitioned to dedicating its technology and efforts to Bitcoin mining. The company has an exclusive license of the ASIC Boost patent that can increase the performance of Bitcoin mining by 20%. And eBang announced in February it completed its design phase of a chip for simultaneous mining of Litecoin and Dogecoin. The company also released a cryptocurrency exchange called Ebonex in April. And so, yeah, this one's interesting. So they have apparently they have some type of new program that can thus improve their mining of both Litecoin and Dogecoin. It's a phase of a chip for simultaneous mining of Litecoin and Dogecoin. And we all know Dogecoin is up big moves, big percentages over the last week. And so maybe that's going to benefit them. At the same time, though, guys, here's the problem. Okay, so EBON trended really well Friday. Looked okay. Held the VWAP, so you can see the VWAP here, and we're holding the VWAP really nicely. It's obvious that this one ended green on Friday. It's also up a little bit in after hours. What I'm worried about with this one, guys, is that if we look at Bitcoin here, here's Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin just tanked this weekend. Bitcoin just dropped 15%. I'm wondering if we're going to get a correction there. Same thing I'm wondering with Coinbase. I'm wondering if we're going to get a correction in some of these companies that are really dependent on Bitcoin. I'm wondering what's going to happen there because Bitcoin, again, did drop about 15% this weekend. Bitcoin's currently at around 56.6K. First time in about a month, I believe, since it's been at that level. Maybe a little bit less. But yeah, do you guys think that we're going to get a correction in some of these Bitcoin stocks? I can only assume we do. And so with that, y'all be careful. And again, I'm holding a little bit of coin. I'm holding a few shares of coin. And so I'm going to have to watch that one at the opening bell to see what happens just because, yeah, a lot of the time Bitcoin is a lot of the time cryptocurrencies are the most volatile on the weekend. And so you'll have some corrections at the opening bell and in pre-market tomorrow morning that I think if you're looking at those, you got to pay attention to as well. They mine Dogecoin too. And so I wonder if that's going to balance it out a little bit, because I know Bitcoin's down, but if they're mining Dogecoin, maybe that'll be positive. We'll have to wait and see with EBON. But again, that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to see if we get a correction there for this one. Looking at the daily chart, the daily chart's about sideways. I mean, it's certainly not a super bullish daily chart. It's about where it was a year ago. And so it's basically a neutral year for EBON. Good things, bad things. And yeah, I've traded this one a ton as well before. Let me know what you think is going to happen with EBON right now in the chat. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Sorry, I'm reading the chat now. Hey, what's up, Bobby? Hey, thanks, brother. Appreciate the support, bro. Yeah, y'all hit that like button, guys. What's up, Tanvir? Hey, good morning. Or good evening, I should say, from Houston. I'm so used to saying good morning. But yeah. So the next one we're taking a look at, guys, the next one we're watching is WKHS. I just added this one to my list really, really quickly just because I saw how it was moving on Friday. Somebody mentioned it earlier in the show. And so I don't hate this one. And I think the volume looks good. I think the volume looks good. It maintained a trend. Let me see if we have a catalyst for this one that I didn't see before. And if we do, I can go over that catalyst really quick. So an analyst initiated coverage with a bullish stance. Benzinga reported about it. Let's see if we can find out why. Yeah, so B. Riley FBR analyst Christopher Souther initiated coverage on the EV maker with a buy rating and a price target of $20. Thank you, Benzinga. Benzinga is the realist. And yeah, so that's super interesting. WKHS is an EV play. I think with Tesla making its crazy big moves, the last few weeks. This one probably is going to have some positive sympathy from it. And yeah, we can watch it as well. I've traded this one a lot before, actually. I've traded this one a ton. Mitch and I, again, used to watch this thing and trade it every day. Mitch has had some great call outs and picks on this thing. And yeah, I'm certainly watching WKHS because of that. Trending really nicely Friday, good volume, nice gap, and then run. Beautiful movement at the opening bell. And so we'll see what happens. I'm going to be watching this one tomorrow as well. It's pretty cheap. It's at 1320s. I think that's solid enough for us to watch. And yeah, again, if you didn't hear me earlier, I'm watching this 1250 level below us. Looking really short term, though, I'll probably take a look at, I think this level looks really interesting, this 1290 level. You can see all the support there. I think it'll probably follow 13 more than anything, but I think 1290 or 13 bucks makes sense to watch as well. We also have this level right here at 1320 that we can pay attention to. I think I mentioned that one earlier as well. 1320 is right underneath this. 1320 is right here underneath this. So I think watching 1320 or 1325 makes a lot of sense with this one as well. And yeah, we'll see if we can hold over these levels. Let me go ahead and add the VWAP real quick. Where's my VWAP? There it is. And yeah, you can see it trended really well on the VWAP Friday afternoon as well. Friday evening, or no, Friday morning, I should say. And yeah, we're watching this. Anyways, guys, back to what everyone else wants to see today. We're going to watch Dogecoin tomorrow at the opening bell. Now, it's been some craziness. I know it's not a penny stock. Y'all don't yell at me too much. But we're watching Dogecoin, and then we're going to watch the accompanying movement from all the other stocks. We're watching Bitcoin. We're watching Dogecoin, and we'll see what happens. Dogecoin, let me show you guys Dogecoin real quick. Here's Doge. Let me refresh this. Dogecoin is currently sitting at 32.5 cents, 32.2 cents to be exact. And so here's Doge here. We're certainly watching this. Let me figure out how this is going to work. There we go. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Oh no, you can't see that. I gotta let me fix this real quick. Hold on one second. All right. There we go. All right, guys. So here's Doge. Right now, Doge is currently sitting at an interesting 32 cents, guys. Here's 32. This is Doge right now. We're certainly watching Doge. And again, I traded this one a ton last week. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm curious to see what it does at the opening bell tomorrow. I've scaled out of most of my position already on Doge, but I am holding some that I'm going to hold for the long haul just in case this one goes crazy. Again, I got a lot of hate for Doge last week, but I mean, listen, when you can make, when you can make over 100% within a few days on any type of stock, coin, regardless, then I think it's a little bit above criticism if you're short-term trading it. Now, if you're planning on holding this thing forever, maybe there's some risk there. But what do you guys think about Doge? Again, I'm not the world's best crypto expert here, but I had some fun trading it. It's the first real big move like that I've ever been involved with, where a stock or coin or whatever has run up hundreds of percentages. And it was a fun time. If I'm looking at Doge just on a technical basis here, you got to see a little bit of a trend, at least starting now. Like, look at the trend here. Really obvious trend, in my opinion, there. To zoom in, really obvious trend here. So we're watching this trend form, and it is holding it. It's respecting that technical trend. And I think a lot of people are going to be paying attention to it. It's something that we're going to be watching at the opening bell tomorrow. And yeah, only time will tell. I'm not going to spend too much time looking at Doge. We'll look at it a little bit more at the end of the show if you guys want to. I have no trust in Doge, and that's okay. I respect your opinion, brother. No stress, man. But I think we're watching it. I'm looking at this trend short term. If we're looking at a longer trend for Doge, the low that I keep seeing is around 25 cents. So like I'm looking at this low. I don't know how to draw levels on this thing super well. There we go. All right. I might have to fix this a little bit. Might not be exact, but that's the level I'm kind of watching right now. We got this little trend here that we're paying attention to as well. But that's the main low that I'm paying attention to as well. Time will tell. We'll see what happens with this one, guys. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Now, with all that said, though, guys, now we're going back to one of my favorite parts of the show where we review some of the best trades that I took last week, and it is our penny stock trade of the week. Let's look at it now. All right, guys. So let me make sure this is the right one. I believe it is. There we go. Okay, guys. So to look at the penny stock trade of the week, the one that we're looking at today for this is Clov. Now, I did trade this one in between me having some fun with Doge last week. I did get involved with Clov. And the way I approach this, guys, is that, okay, so the first thing that you want to do if you want to take advantage of some moves like this is that you could see how well this thing was actually respecting the VWAP. Every time this one would pull back to the VWAP, it would hold, it would continue, it would bounce off of it. And it's not that this stock is respecting the VWAP. That's not exactly what's going on here. What's more so going on is that the VWAP is accurately predicting these trends. So the VWAP is accurately predicting this trend here. And like that is really what's going on. It's not like the stock doesn't know where the VWAP is, but other traders do. Right. And so when other traders watch the VWAP like this, and when other traders are involved with trading the VWAP, then they're more likely to dip buy at that VWAP level. And so, you know, it does kind of respect it a little bit because of that. And in the end, guys, remember, like technical analysis only really works because other people think it works, right? It works because there's psychological levels that people are playing off of. And so if everybody thinks Clov is going to bounce at the VWAP, buys come in there, and it in turn bounces at the VWAP. And that's why technical trading works. And regardless of why, that's why it works. But it's an interesting thing to watch. And again, I think the key here, this is what I did. I just bought this pullback. I bought one of these pullbacks and rode it up for a really nice bounce. There were a few things that I need if I want to see a stock trending like this. I need good volume. I want to see the volume good enough for me to, I want to see the volume good enough for the stock to maintain that upward trend. If the volume's too low, we're not going to have buyers stepping in where we really need them to. And so volume's really important. And you can see this one throughout most of the day maintained, you know, over 500,000 shares traded per minute. And so volume's absolutely crucial if you're going to trade the VWAP most of the time, because if you think about it, the VWAP is the volume weighted average price. It is revolving around volume in a specific way. But yeah, buying these little pullbacks to the VWAP in a really nice trending stock is my favorite way to trade these type of moves. And again, what you want to understand about the VWAP is that the VWAP is a intraday trend indicator. So the VWAP is showing you what the trend is. If the stock maintains above this VWAP level, it's in an upward trend. If it maintains below this level, it's in a downward trend. Now that trend can always change. That trend can change quickly. As you see here, later on in the day, it broke underneath the VWAP. But again, I mean, think about it like this. When you have a stock maintaining a trend like this, every time it pulls back to the VWAP, you know, that's a dip buying opportunity. Now, it's not going to happen forever. You'll eventually lose doing this. But, you know, you can get in a bunch of green trades before you eventually lose. And again, even if you look at it from the other side where it breaks underneath the VWAP and then every time it pulls back to it, you short into it. Same type of thing would work here, even here in pre-market. And that's really how you use the VWAP with really nice trending stocks. You can see here, look how well it's respecting it. You know, and again, this is because the VWAP is one of my favorite indicators in that way. And the reason it is because like with moving averages, there's all these different variations of moving averages. There's the 9, the 8, the 12, the 20, the 50, the 25, the 28, you know, the EMA, SMA, the, you know, all that stuff, right? There's a lot of different variations of moving averages. And so it makes it so that you got to try to pick the one that most other people are using because you want traders to be playing off of the indicators you're using. If you want an indicator to work, guys, you need other traders that are actually using that indicator. If you're using some super obscure indicator that nobody else is using, you're not going to have buys stepping in at the level you want them to. Why? Because nobody else is trading that indicator. Nobody else sees it. You know, if you want it to work, other people have to know about it when it comes to indicators. And with the VWAP, there's just one. There's just one VWAP. Mostly, it's right around. If there's different variations, it's very slight, and they're all right around the same area. And so, because of that, more traders are playing off of it. More buys come in on the pullbacks to it, because again, more traders are ultimately playing off of it. And because of that, if you guys know me, it's my favorite indicator ever. And because of this, like, you can see how well stocks, it identifies these trends, like pullback, bounce, 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 rejection, rejection, rejection. And they say technicals don't work, but it's obvious they do when you look at charts like this. And again, it's one of my favorite ways to trade. And so let me know what you think about it in the chat below. And yeah, guys, that's it for today. That's it for the show. We can go ahead and take some call outs if you guys want to take some call outs before we close it down. Like I said, it's not going to be a crazy long show today. I'm looking at Doge, and it's currently at 32 cents, roughly around 32 cents. What do you guys think are going to happen? Rose Monroe, just treat. What percentage of the float would you consider the good range to trade? I'm assuming you mean what float size? Or do you mean the float rotation, like amount? Float, my sweet spot when it comes to float is, like, I like trading floats in between like 30 million down to like 2 million. You know, even under 2, like ANPC today we looked at, that one's got a very small float. You know, when the float is this small, like ANPC, there's risk there. Like, there's some risk there. Just because, you know, when a float's that small, like what was the ones that we had moving? It was like WAFU. Like, when you have really, really small floats like these, like, there's just a lot of craziness. Like, look at how hard this is to predict. Look how big these drops in. Like, you might get big moves up, but there's also big moves down that can hit. And so, you know, I usually prefer floats over 2 million. Oh, if you're talking about volume, volume. My preference with volume, like if we look at CLOV, for instance, my preference with volume is I want to see over 200,000 shares traded per minute. 200K is like my bare minimum. Like, on it, like if I look at a stock and on average over the last 30 minutes, it has like, you know, 60 or 70K per minute. That's not good enough. Even though, and that's kind of a misleading volume. Because sometimes, like, stocks like that will look good. Like, sometimes you'll see stocks moving, but you look down at the volume and they only really have like 60, 70K traded per minute. And that's misleading, because you think it's great, bad things can happen. And so my base minimum with volume is 200K per minute. If we're talking about the entire session, you know, pre-market, I want to see at least 2 million. You know, market hours, I want to see 10 million plus usually. But, you know, my favorite way to look at it, excuse me, my favorite way to look at it is per minute. And again, 200K is my bare minimum. If it has less, like, you'll see me every now and then take a trade if I'm bored or there's nothing else moving. But my best trades are always big volume trades that I can just attack a trend like this. And again, with CLOV, great example of like stocks maintaining trends really well, pulling back to it, because there's so many other traders that see it. On the pullbacks, they're getting bought into more and they're pushing up more. And it's just my favorite way to trade. All right, but yeah, so here's Doge, and again, we'll go back to Doge. We can watch that for the end of the show today. I know we got a few people waiting, but yeah, fun time, guys, fun time. Did anybody else here trade Doge? I'm like, and again, you guys know me. I'm mostly a penny stock trader. I'm not super well versed in crypto, but it's been a fun time trading. Like, look at Doge right now here, team. Like, look at this, just craziness, man. Sitting at 32 cents, and again, I bought Doge. Like, let me show you guys. Like, I bought Doge way down here, bro. Like, I bought Doge. Let me show you. I bought Doge. Where is this? On the 14th. To go by. Here's the daily chart. Let's see if it'll go back in time. There's a 6-minute chart. Yeah, I bought Doge. No, I don't like that. All the way back And I announced it on my stream. Again, I had if you guys watch my live stream every day, this is where I talked about it. I bought it on April 14th. I believe it was like right here. Like I believe I bought it. It might have been like here. It was at 12.5 cents. So actually it was right around here is where I bought it. I bought it like right here at 12.5 cents. I think I got filled at like 12.8 cents. And yeah, so if we look at what I'm up just in this trade, I bought it here. And then I wrote it all the way up from that level. And then if we zoom out, you know, we had some beautiful movement after that. So look, I'm in down here and we rode this thing up really, really nicely. And I ended up taking profit and adding back. Like with Doge, it has these big kind of, I call it manic depressive moves. It goes up really big and then it falls down really big. But, you know, lately in the last week, buying those pullbacks has been profitable. I don't know if it's going to continue to work, but yeah, lately in the last week, buying those pullbacks has been great. And, yeah, we're going to see what happens. I'm excited to see it trade. I'm excited to trade it again tomorrow morning if we do end up trading it. And yeah, because of that, we're certainly going to be watching it. What are your views? Here's a good question from Sean. He said, what are your views on trading stocks while they are halted? I've noticed that a majority of stocks that halt on the rise open with a big push up before coming down. Yeah, I mean, I think that it all depends on how you're looking at it. I think that a lot of the time, like new traders, I think if we're looking at penny stocks, number one, I think most penny stocks will ultimately fail. I think most penny stocks are terrible companies. There are a reason they're penny stocks. And so with that, a lot of new traders get really excited with gap ups, but in the end, the gap ups most of the time fail. Like I've back tested it before, and I think it's something like 28% eventually break the pre-market high that day. But you know, the other 70%, basically 72%, fail. Yeah, the other 72% of them fail. And so I think a lot of times new traders get really excited when they see these big volume gaps. And sometimes they try to like buy them before the open and they just try to hold them because they think they're just going to continue. But like if you watch the market every day like me, most penny stocks are going to fail. You know, they're not like mid and high caps in that regard where, you know, 50-50 maybe or whatever it is on that specific day, depending on what's going on. Instead, they succeed a lot less. I mean, they're penny stocks for a reason. And so you'll have bigger percentage moves up and then faster fails with penny stocks. And so I think with halted stocks, especially, you know, my mentality on trading halted stocks is that unless if I trade a halted stock, it's usually because I got stuck in the first halt. Every time, no matter what, I immediately sell after the first halt. There's just too much risk. There's a big reward potential with that as well, but there's a lot of risk that comes with it. And so, again, I can't say what you guys should do with halted stocks. What I prefer to do is if I get stuck in a halt, I usually sell as soon as it resumes. I'm not trying to hold it past that. There's just too much craziness that can happen. Like that's when the big percentage and the reason like big drops happen after halts is because the stock gets halted for 5 minutes. It finally resumes. And then everybody's just piling out. Everybody's scared because they know what can potentially happen. And so that causes some big squeezes down really, really quickly. And I have no interest in being a part of that. Hey, what's up, Happy? Yeah, Bitcoin dropped because Treasury may take action against money laundering that's carried out U.S. digital assets. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm a little frustrated. Like, I think that I'm okay with them looking into the money laundering. Like, that's fine. But I think that at the same time, I think some stockbrokers and stock institutions are just mad because they're taking attention away from them in some ways. Yeah, Jeff. I certainly never said that I was in Doge long term. Like I said, I bought Doge on the 14th. I've said that a few times, and I've made great money. Everybody hated me when I ended up buying it. I'm not a crypto trader. I literally said at the beginning of the stream, I don't know anything about crypto, or at least not. Maybe I didn't say that, but I said that I'm certainly not a crypto expert, and I'm not super well versed in crypto market. Now, stocks, on the other hand, I think I know what I'm talking about, but crypto, I'm just having fun trading it, and so you know. I'm certainly not an expert in that regard with crypto. And yeah, I don't think I ever made it seem that way either. Yeah, maniac depression is a great term for Dogecoin. Yeah, for sure. Humble. Yeah, we'll take a look at Humble, and then we'll probably close it down real quick. Yeah, halts can get crazy. Halts can get crazy. All right, so let's go ahead. What's the symbol? HMBL. Yeah, I mean, it's pink sheet stocks, and I'm not really super well versed in pink sheets either. All I can really do is look at a short-term trend, and again, as always, like I really don't know which way this one's going to go. Not really my market of choice. Not certainly not super well versed in pink sheets either. I'm mostly my specialty, guys, is mostly uh, major exchange listed penny stocks between like $1 and $15 roughly is usually what I go for. Oh, my bad, Jeff. Okay, I misunderstood you. He said I just mean the yeah, bro. Honestly, I'm used to using Kraken, but I recently switched from Kraken to Bittrex for my crypto platform. And so with that, I'm still learning it, brother. I'm still learning it, man. But my bad, I misinterpreted what you said. I thought you said that I was trying to act like I was an expert, and I was just kind of like, yo, I'm certainly not an expert. You know, as always, you guys know me. I certainly don't ever try to claim to be more than I'm not. And you know, we're just a resource and community here, or at my channel at least. Benzinga, they're legitimately experts over here. But yeah, so with Humble, I mean, 250, I think is some support. We're gonna watch 250 here. We're gonna see what happens. But that's what I see right now. I also see that this looks to be, you know, trending this way, like this. Now, triangle, like, you know, looks like a triangle slash flag, whatever you want to call it. We'll see what happens. Like I'm watching this range between 350 and 250. That dollar range looks interesting. Again, though, pink sheets are not really my specialty, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. You know, I'm watching these certainly, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, for sure. But with that said, guys, I see a few other people asking questions. Let's see, GTT. Too slow and dull for me, brother. Too slow and dull for me. I mean, we can look at some levels here, but a little bit too slow. Downward trending. You know, we got that 151 low of the last year. I mean, I think that's going to be relevant, but we'll see if it can hold there. TKC. Yeah, this one's all right. We'll look at $5 above us and like look at these lows down here, but sideways trending over the last year. If we're looking at really close levels, we could look at like 460 right here, see what happens there. But again, most of these are just too low volume for me to really trade, to be honest. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Go visit with my family a little bit with my kids. They've been bugging me, trying to get me to play Xbox with them all day. So I'm gonna go play some Xbox with my kids. You gotta love life, and we'll see what happens with Doge, guys. Doge is down to 32 cents. You know, again, if you guys don't know about me, I run a YouTube channel called Beginner Trading. We live stream the market every single day, where we trade live. You know, we don't claim to be experts. We don't claim to be gurus. We're just a free resource and community for traders. And so if you appreciate that, come subscribe to our channel. I'll post this link here, and you can go sub to our channel. There's the link. Go sub to Beginner Trading. I certainly appreciate it if you do. Again, we day trade live. We don't charge a penny for anything. It's all free. You know, we don't charge for anything. We don't sell a course, service, anything like that. And yeah, we're just a resource and community, guys. So go sub. Join us tomorrow morning, and we'll see you guys later. We'll see you guys next Sunday for our show. Make sure to run those like and subscribe numbers up. Listen, if you're coming from my channel and you haven't subscribed to Benzinga yet, you're missing out. Hit the subscribe button. Great channel here on Benzinga. Tons of free stuff coming out daily, all day. They've got great stuff dropping from videos, crypto, penny stocks, regular stocks, everything. They have whatever you're into in the stock market or trading, they have it. Whether it's crypto, Doge, penny stocks, mid and high caps, OTC, they've got all that stuff. So y'all subscribe to Benzinga if you're coming from my show, or if you're coming from my channel and haven't already. Good luck, guys. We'll see you guys a little bit later. Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Hey, what's up, William? Hey, he said you are good, bro, in the morning, but calm out the push-ups. Yeah, I talked to my wife. Like I said, I'm on I have E. coli infection and pseudomonas, which is like an antibiotic resistant bacteria. And I got it because we had that blizzard here in Texas. We had that blizzard. And so I've been kind of sick for like the last week. I've had emails galore. I haven't been able to get back to them really because I've been kind of sick for the last week. But we got it because we had that blizzard here in Texas, you know, a few weeks ago, a month or however long ago it was. And during that blizzard, something changed with our water. Like our water was dark, right? And we had plumbers come out here. And the plumbers are like, oh no, you just need your filter replaced. And so we got them to do that. But now I go to the doctor because my stomach hurts and I'm not really feeling that good. And the doctor's like, yo, you got E. coli and pseudomonas. Now I'm on Cipro and Bactrim, 2 different types of antibiotics, and if I try to do push-ups on those, I could like hurt my tendons apparently. So I can't do push-ups tomorrow, guys. I talked to my wife, Carol. She's going to step in. We're going to, you know, and she's going to handle the exercise tomorrow. So I'll probably get better views and more donations from that anyway. But yeah, with that said, guys, love you all. Hit that subscribe button here and on my channel. Yeah. Later, guys. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, here's my channel if you guys want to check it out. And yeah, it hasn't been fun, bro. It hasn't been fun. Honestly, bro, like I've been looking at this dart, like we've had like brown water, you know, and it's like I've been looking at this water and I've been like, Carol, like there's something wrong with this water. And she's been like, oh no, it's just rust or something. And it only happened after the blizzard. Now we know. Now we got somebody finally out here to fix it. And our water's not brown anymore. But yeah, now I'm sick. Great. You know. Anyways, guys, later team. We'll see you guys next time. And appreciate the support. Have a good day, guys.